Hello, welcome back to our magical family. And if this is the first time, I'm Santi.
I'm Lali.
And here we are with another video for you. So, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about the wedding.
We're talking about the wedding, which, by the way, as of today, filming this video, we are 8 days away
We're 8 days away from the wedding.
8
And
days.
if you didn't catch our previous video and you don't know what type of wedding we're having a Disney fairy tale wedding on Disney Cruise, specifically the Wish.
Woohoo! I'm very excited, as you can tell. But this has been cool. Like I think you have your regular traditional wedding that you plan, and then you have your
Destination wedding. And then you have a Disney wedding.
And then you have a Disney wedding, which is but on top of a Disney wedding, right? Like the magical fairy tale and everything, this is actually a cruise wedding.
So it's really fun, and for those of you who haven't caught us before, this is our second marriage. So we decided to do things a little differently.
Mixing it up.
Which is also part of why we decided on a Disney cruise wedding. Well, first of all, we're big Disney fans, so it was just kind of like a dream for us to have our wedding associated with Disney. And when we started doing some research and looking into Disney fairy tale weddings, we've tried to figure out what was the best option for us and what was within our price range. And so we kind of took it from there. And what made most sense for us, since we love the Disney cruises, was to do it on a Disney cruise.
Yes. And I feel like they've made it much easier.
Well, and I think that's part of why we chose to go the route of a cruise wedding. Even if we hadn't done it with Disney, when we started doing our research, it was the most easiest, and just they've made it so easy. And we'll, I guess, get into some of those details.
Absolutely.
So I guess step one, if you are considering doing a Disney wedding, is you have to call up Disney Fairy Tale Weddings, which is actually a separate number. You can find it online. We can actually probably Google it or drop it in, the comments for you guys to make it a little easier for you. But you call Disney Fairy Tale Wedding, and they send you a packet. And they send you a packet of the different costs and the different options. And what, to my surprise, the Disney Cruise Weddings was actually one of the more affordable weddings at Disney.
Yeah.
So you do have to buy your cruise. So
this is an add-on, right? It's an add-on to the cruise.
It's an add-on to the cruise, but you can take a look at some more affordable sailings, and then you can pick that. That's actually what we did, because we wanted our family to be able to participate. So we wanted to make sure it was budget conscious for all our different family members, because we have family members all over, some that can afford a little more and some that can afford a little less. So it was important for them to be part of it.
Yeah.
So we settled on a long weekend.
And we planned it. I mean, we planned this for a year, to give all of us time to pay it off, right?
Absolutely.
So
Step one was we looked into the Disney Fairy Tale Wedding and how much those would cost and the different add-ons. And then once we decided that we were going to go with a Disney cruise wedding, we looked at different sailings. And I guess part of what you would want to consider is if there's a particular ship that you're more interested in versus one or the other. They have Disney Cruises currently has 5 different ships, with the Magic being the oldest and the Wish being the newest.
And soon the Treasure.
And soon the Treasure, soon to come in
that's not
2025,
here yet, yeah.
So that'll be in the future. So what we first decided on, I actually wanted to do it on the Dream or the Fantasy, but what had happened was our anniversary is actually 11/8. And we wanted to try to keep the wedding close to that date. And to my disappointment, the Dream or the Fantasy didn't have a weekend cruise that would work out for those dates. So then the cruise that did have that date was the Wish. And we've been on the Wish before, and we really liked it too.
It's very, yeah. It's very nice. I like it. I like all the new things that they have. It's different from the other ships because it's designed a little differently. So I think it's perfect. And then the other thing too for us is, to try to keep the cost down and everything, we didn't want to make it a 7-day cruise,
Yeah.
which is then more expensive for everybody. So this is a weekend cruise.
So weekend cruise, it's a long weekend. So then we settled on the weekend that we wanted, which then ended up with us selecting the Wish. But it might be different for you, and you might want a longer or a shorter or a particular boat, and that would all impact the cost of your sailing. So whatever the base cost of your sailing is, then you would add on the package for the wedding. And I think that the packages have recently gone up, this just like a couple months ago. But when we booked this, the packages for the cruise ranged between $3,000 to $5,000.
Okay.
$5,000 being the more expensive one if you actually want to get married on their private island, which is beautiful, and I've seen lots of people that do that, but we're not big beach people, and we didn't want to deal with the sand or the heat or potentially bad weather in November.
And I think that's the risk, right? The risk with doing it on the island is you just don't know. I mean, the Bahamas, we're close to Florida. Is it hurricane season? And then it would really be terrible to have everybody in the ship, and then you're dealing with a potential storm. So that was our reason for not going that route.
So we decided then the boat option to do it on the ship, they give you a lot of different locations on the ship. The one we ended up with was the Grand Atrium, or the main lobby, which is the staircase area that you see on all the boat videos. And that's what we decided because we thought that would be really beautiful. But if you don't, I guess downside to that, if you're not a big wanting a lot of attention, you are really kind of right smack in the middle of everything, because
Yes.
it is the Grand Atrium or the Grand Hall, and so you'll definitely be on display if you choose to have your wedding there. But they do have some more private options where you could have it, in one of the lounges or in a deck area that's a little more secluded. So when you get your package, they'll give you all the different locations that you can select from as part of where you'd like your wedding to be.
And you get assigned a person, right?
You do. One of the things that made this the easiest is that you get a wedding coordinator. You actually get 2 wedding coordinators. You get your wedding coordinator that you do all your planning with before boarding the boat. And we were very lucky with a lady named Faith. She's been wonderful.
Thank you, Faith.
And then eventually when we get on the boat on 11/10, which is our sailing date, we'll meet our new our on-board wedding coordinator, and we'll meet with them, and they'll give us all the details and kind of do like, not a rehearsal because you don't really do a rehearsal on the boat, but kind of like they tell you the lay of the land and what you have to do and what times you have to meet and all of that. So we actually get 2 wedding coordinators. And what's been really wonderful about our coordinator Faith and just working with Disney Fairy Tale Weddings is that they literally make everything so easy. They send you a planning guide as soon as you decide to book with them, and they make everything so easy. So part of what was frustrating about, I don't know about you, but my first wedding is like, you have to figure out everything individually. You have to figure out the location, and you got to figure out the food and the flowers and all of those details that'll drive you crazy.
It's a lot of coordination, and this is easy because it's just one place, and they give you the guide, and you pick. I mean, I remember you telling me, we got to pick the music, and they give us the different options that we could pick there.
So they make it very, very easy for you. They give you an array of different flower options that you get to pick from and decide like what flowers you would like, everything from roses to orchids to lilies. And they do also have, which is all standard in what's included in what you're paying for, they do have certain upcharges for I guess, next tier flowers or next tier cake if you wanted, something in particular. But we were actually very happy with the selections and the array of options that they had in the package price that was already included with what we were paying for.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I thought everything was lovely.
yeah.
I mean, option-wise. This is part 1 of the video. Part 2 of this video will come later after the wedding, where we'll tell you what the overall experience was.
Absolutely. We'll let you know that if everything that we've experienced so far panned out with all our plans. So for the flower options, we actually went with white roses. They thought they were very classic, and we're kind of very classic. My daughter would say plain people or basic, but I don't think we're very basic. We just like, you know, things that
Simplicity.
that are classic and simple. So
Classic and simple. That's
so
our
we
way.
went with the white flowers. What is a little different about the Disney Cruise wedding is you're not going to have like a 4-hour reception with all the crazy dancing and all of that.
Yeah.
It's a smaller reception in one of their lounges. In our case, it's going to be the Bayou, which is, if you've been on the Wish or want to know more about the Wish, it's the Tiana themed lounge that's in their main area, in their main lobby. And so we're excited to have it there. And as part of, well, my understanding is, right, because we haven't done this yet, but again, we'll let you know how it went, is the day of the wedding, we'll get ready, we'll get dressed, we'll do all of that, and then we'll have our ceremony in the Grand Atrium, and then we'll move over to the Bayou for our reception.
Mm-hmm.
And then in our reception, we do get our first dance as husband and wife, which I'm excited about. I don't know if you are.
I am.
And then we'll have a champagne toast, and we'll have cake, and we'll be with our family for approximately 2 hours. And then, you know, it's actually when we're sailing and the day of our ceremony, we're actually going to be in the Bahamas, in Nassau. So if any of our family wants to get down after the wedding and enjoy the island, they can. And then, you know, we'll run around the boat getting pictures and all of that kind of stuff. And then everybody can go do whatever they want on the Disney Wish.
Yeah.
They make it really easy that way.
It's easy, and you know, everybody gets a little vacation out of it. So it's like, just be there for the wedding, and then after the wedding, poof.
Win-win. So the other things that are included as part of your selection package that you get to select the cake that you want. They have various different options to choose from. A 2-tier, you know, wedding cake. We went, you know, we're big chocolate fans, so we went with a classic vanilla with chocolate ganache, which I'm very excited to taste.
Oh, I can't wait.
And then you can actually choose to bring your own cake topper. So actually, my parents last Christmas had bought us a little Mickey and Minnie that we're gonna put on the top of the cake. So we're excited for that. And honestly, and then we decided not to go with traditional music. Santi had mentioned they give you a list of options for, you know, your first dance and the cake cutting and, you know, your entry into, you know, the Grand Atrium and all of that. And what did we decide?
I don't remember all the songs. It's a lot of choices.
No, I'm not telling you about the songs. We decided not to go traditional.
Oh no, we're going with Disney music. What else are we gonna do? Of course. The only thing is that, wait, do they have someone playing the music? Yes?
Yes, as part of your wedding package, they provide a pianist. So you'll have live music with the pianist playing.
So the only thing is that it's instrumental.
It's instrumental.
You know, I mean, I don't know. I kind of wish I had somebody saying the words, because the words, I think, of all the songs that we selected are, you know, powerful.
Well, they're meaningful to us.
They're meaningful to us, but yeah, it'll be there.
So yeah, but that's a good thing to let people know, is that you get to pick all your music. You can go with classical, you know, like the wedding march or anything like that, or Ave Maria, anything that's more classical wedding type music, or you can pick whatever you want. And if it's not a song that's within their options, you can provide your own sheet music and they'll play it for you as well. So,
I didn't know that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, they do offer that as well.
Oh, that's really neat.
And then also, the photographer is included as part of your package, but then obviously, depending on what kind of photography package you want, they have cheaper or more expensive ones, and I'll have to be honest, that's where I splurged.
Oh yeah.
That's where I decided.
I knew that was coming. With the pictures, Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a bad habit of taking lots and lots of pictures.
But again, it's
our
it's
wedding.
worth it. It's our wedding.
Worth it,
it's the one place
memories.
we're splurging on is capturing those memories. So I'm totally okay with that.
I'm glad you're okay with it.
Yes.
So then, the pianist, the flowers, the cake, the music, the pictures, and they have a whole bunch of add-ons too. We'll go ahead and Santi will attach to the video, you know, some of the planning guides and some of the options so you can take a feel and a look for it. But they have a whole extra add-ons package if you wanted to do the upcharged options. Like they, you know, allow you to deliver to all your guests special chocolates or special gifts, which we didn't really do any special gifts for the boat. We actually did do special gifts that our family doesn't know about yet, that we plan on giving to them the day before we leave for the cruise. And we got them all t-shirts. We got them all Mickey Team Bride or Team Groom Mickey or Minnie t-shirts. So they're all in for a surprise there. Yeah. And for those of you who are experienced Disney cruisers, you know that a lot of the families do magnets. So we did personalized wedding magnets.
Got our wedding magnets, so you'll be able to identify us.
So if you're sailing on the Disney Wish next week on 11/10 and you see the Narado Alfonso wedding party,
that's us.
That's us.
And it's funny too because like we're in a lot of the Facebook groups, and typically on the sailings, people end up creating a Facebook group specific to the sailing. So we're in there too. And we've already been like, hi, we're one of the wedding parties, and there's another wedding party, and everybody's been so nice and everything. And what I expect is, so even though we tried to keep it small, you know, it's our siblings with their partners, it's our parents and everything. So I expected, you know, it's going to be a small wedding and everything. We're going to be there in the center of the ship. But I expect the rest of the ship participating.
Have an audience?
Yeah. Through, you know, on the different levels, just watching down and joining with us.
Yeah, I expect some of that too.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be kind of cool.
Which is why I said if you select to be in the atrium, there is an element that you're going to be on display somewhat. And
which is fun. I'm like, hey, everybody, party with us, you know. I'm totally down for that. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
And that's another thing to let you guys know if you do select to go on a Disney cruise wedding is that they do multiple weddings on board. And our sailing was a maximum of 2, so there'll actually be another couple getting married that day in a different area. We chose the atrium. They're gonna be in a more, I guess, private area in one of the lounges or decks. But I'm sure everything will be beautiful no matter what, because honestly, you really can't go wrong with any of the options they give you.
It's everything. Again, I mean, from what I've seen, it looks great. I'm excited.
So back to the upcharges, you could do, you know, chocolates or gifts for your wedding party. You can choose a larger array of flowers. You could, you know, choose, again, one of the upgrades like we talked about, extra photography and things like that. So there's just a lot of options, and you can see that in the different guides that Santi will post later. But we're just really excited.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
No, I mean, I'm stoked. I mean, I can't believe the time is ticking. It's 8 days away from boarding, and then the second day, you know, we'll separate a little bit, you know, so I can leave you alone with your wedding dress, and I'll go over to my parents.
Well, that's another thing to tell you, which is a separate charge that's not included as part of the package, but certainly available to you if you want to do it. And Faith, or whoever your wedding coordinator ends up being, makes it super easy for you, is if you do want to have any hair, makeup, shaving for the gentleman, your wedding coordinator will coordinate that all for you. And so I chose to get my hair and makeup done on the boat by one of the wedding professionals, and Santi's gonna get a nice clean shave.
That's why I've been growing it out so I can shave it all off for the wedding.
So that's also available to you as part of their salons, and they'll charge you for that. Just whatever the cost would be to do your hair or makeup or to
Wait,
get a
also
shave.
we have, how many of us is it? Is it
There is
19?
There's 19 total, yeah,
Including us,
including us.
right? So I like that they worked with us to try to keep the dinner arrangements, the tables as close as possible.
Again, your
I mean,
wedding.
we linked everybody.
Yeah, your wedding coordinator really does take care of everything. So if you have a small party or a large party, it doesn't matter. They'll link all your reservations together to make sure you're all, on the same link, if you will, the same reservation, if you will. And then they'll make sure that all your dining arrangements are, scheduled together. And that, we have a big party of 19, so they can't fit all 19 of us in just one table for dinner. But they are kind of separating us out into 2 tables that'll be right next to each other. And then you'll be able to always have dinner together every night. They take care of any arrangements, like I mentioned, for salon and grooming or anything like that. If you want to, we chose not to because it was such a short cruise. As part of your package, you do get dinner at Paolo, which is their adult restaurant on board. And we've eaten there many times, and it's actually one of our favorites. But since it was such a short cruise and we wanted to be able to spend as much time with the family, we chose not to get that. But that is included as part of your package, which they'll coordinate with you to schedule your time and your reservation. And just, they really... Disney Fairy Tale Weddings really does make it so easy for you. I can't speak to, like, if you were to have your wedding on the parks. I'm not sure how complicated that would be, but definitely for Disney Fairy Tale Weddings on the cruises, they make it so easy for you.
It just, again, in terms of planning weddings, I just feel like this has been smooth, stress-free.
Well, we haven't had to worry about all those details. The only kind of details we had to worry about was picking what we wanted to do. Once we decided on the Disney cruise wedding, everything was smooth sailing, and then buying our dress or tuxedo, our outfits, if you will. Which that was a whole other stress because I think I bought like 3 different dresses at this point. But you'll have to stay tuned to see which one I actually end up wearing. But
I can't wait to see because I don't know.
You don't know. But
I'm very excited.
I'm excited too.
It'll be very cool.
So, is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it. Just make sure to subscribe just so you can get notified when we do the next video and you can see the afterwards. I mean, we'll have a couple other things in between here and now because, like I said, I'm pushing for us to try to do at least 1 video a day if possible. But definitely the wedding coverage will be coming next week. I can't wait to marry you, babe.
Can't wait to marry you.
Yeah. All right, so that's it. So thank you, and we'll see you on the next video.